2013, the year many from Ghana's northern regions took for granted, but meant football wilderness and by a large stretch, a winding, complicated, and an almost elusive plot back into the country's football elite. Real Tamale United went into the record books as the only side to be relegated from the Ghanaian top flight without winning a single game. The Northern Lions failed to clinch victory in 30 games as they drew 6, lost 24, and conceded as many as 69 goals and scored a paltry 20 goals. 34 years of producing real stars for club and country. You don't need a reminder. Mohamed Gago, 3-time Africa Footballer of the Year Bedi Pele, Hamza Mohamed, Anna Nikobo, Stephen Odro, amongst others, were the toast of football fans. The sight of the beautiful Aliu Mahama Stadium filled with fans watching Division 1 football for the last decade is a worry, from the cheap seats to the Tamale chief.
One of my daily regrets is the fact that there's no premier team in Tamale. Yes. So many of the opportunities are lost.
We have struggled over the years to bring in other teams, including Real Tamale United, to no avail. In fact, it has become a border to almost all sons and daughters of the northern region.
It's very, very worrying. It's very, very worrying because when you look around, I mean, look at it's because of the premiership clubs here in the north. The reason why these stadiums were put up.
You can't have this wonderful edifice without the Premier League. I mean, we did our best, try all that we can for the past 3 seasons. I mean, Tamale City, number 12 came and truncated everything, and then almighty COVID took him.
We're missing a lot. A lot of opportunities, exposure. You know, the Ghana Premier League can bring a lot of exposure, so we're missing a lot.
As a footballer, it worries a lot because watching Division 1 matches, sometimes we come fed up with it because we've not seen the likes of Asante Kotoko, House of Hope, Dreams FC. We've not seen them for so many years.
It has felt so close yet so far every other year. Just believing that there will be a representative somehow in the Ghana Premier League. And there will be huge attention on talents in the north again. But the battle has remained a strange one. While All Stars, which remained the pride of the north in the torrid decade, was transformed into Legon Cities and now a club based in the south of Ghana, leaving the 4 northern regions totally shut out now. But there's a growing sense of optimism that this is the year of return.
One team from here, maybe next year we'll be in the Premier League.
We want to do it this season.
This year we are trying our possible best to get a premier club in Tamale.
We have 4 first division in Tamale here. At least we're trying to see this year to see whether we can go, one can go to Premier League.
I think hopefully one of them can qualify into the Premiership.
Having a Premier League team, as Tamale has enjoyed over the past 3 decades, does bring about massive advantages, but they have been left to feel the pinch. Northern Regional FA Chairman Alhaji Abu Hassan Mamadu, popularly known as Alhaji Raizo, understands it all.
Well, since 1978, we have had Real Tamale United as the team in the Premiership over here. They have dominated the Northern as the big brother, if you want to call it, at the Northern part here over the years. But since they exited the Premiership, we have struggled over the years to bring in other teams, including Real Tamale United, to no avail. In fact, it has become a border to almost all sons and daughters of the northern region, because you realize that most of the younger generation or the current generation would normally look up to most of the players that RTU turns out and then who also moves to other clubs. You have the likes of Sheila and Co moving to Kotoko, Damba and Co moving to Olympus. Yeah. You had the likes of Hamza Mohammed and co all moving to Kotoko, Kim Faisal, House of Folk, and then Anani Kobo and co moving to Kotoko, Mahama and Lai to House of Folk. And so at any point in time, you had the current generation actually looking up to others at that level. But ever since RTU moved got demoted from the premiership, you realize that they don't really have icons they look up to week in, week out. Then the fact that they would have the opportunity of watching other stars from other clubs that visit Northern Region to play against Real Tamale United was itself an incentive or motivation. So they go there, they copy styles, and then how they the play of other teams. So there was a lot players learned almost every week because of the different pattern of play of the various clubs that came here to play with Real Tamale United. But all that is gone with the wind. And you have the edifice there, the Aliu Mama Sports Stadium, which is supposed to be a pitch that at least these up-and-coming stars would be exhibiting their talents on weekly basis. But unfortunately, it's become like a white elephant where musicians, which is now the mainstay of musicians, where they go to actually use it for musical concerts as against football, which was the reason why the edifice was constructed.
Really.
And economically, it has also affected the business community. We had our sisters, our mothers, aunties who go there on weekly basis to go and sell their wares, either water, drinks, food to patrons of matches on match days. But ever since RTU got exited from the premiership, you realize that most of them have had to either stop altogether, because that was where they used to go to sell their wares, and then it's been a challenge.
Minority Leader and Tamale South Member of Parliament, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, equally shares the pain of no Ghana Premier League representation up north.
They need exposure, they need an opportunity, and they need a platform to showcase their skills and their talent. One of my daily reports is the fact that there's no premier team in Tamale.
Yes.
So many of the opportunities are lost because we don't have a premier team. That's why I pray that either RTU or Steadfast FC or Tamale City makes it this time round.
No Ghana Premier League club in Tamale means there's an upset in the supply chain of talents, from Colts clubs to Division 2 and to Division 1 clubs, onto the Ghana Premier League clubs if they exist, before the usual attraction from Kumasi and Accra based clubs used to be the norm. Tamale Real Republicans is responsible for most of the accomplished football talents that shone through from coach level to international level.
The Republicans started producing some of these great stars when myself wasn't around. I wasn't the coach of the club, but the club was producing great stars. In time past, Shaibu Grant, who played for the national team, was from Real Republicans. Clifford Adai, Mumune Gamel, Anani Kobo, Abu Imuru, when he also came to Tamale, he played for Real Republicans. I understand Abiri Pele also, when he first came to Tamale, he was trading with Real Republicans. Then in those days, these are the players Republican has produced. And then during my tenure as the coach of the club, Republicans has produced a lot of players again. Sheila Hassan, Sheila Iliasu, Hamza Mohammed, Michael Anaba, Mubarak Wakasu, Idi Yakini, many of them. Mohamed Wahid, Mohamed Bashiru, popularly known as Asasi, many of the players
coming from here. Al-Hassan Dewo is CEO of Republicans and the Northern Regional Juvenile Committee Chairman. He further explains the supply chain has been truncated and super talents are going waste without a Premier League club surfacing for about a decade.
when there was a premier club in Tamale, when RTU was in the premiership, sometimes a player could just migrate from schools and then he goes to play for RTU. Then that was it. But now that the premier club is not there, the players play when they migrate from schools. But thank God now there are Division 2 clubs, Division 1 clubs in Tamale. When they migrate from school, then they play for those Division 2 clubs. But when RTU was there, if there's a premier match, I could remember when there's a premier match and then Kotoko Haas is coming here. There are players who you will be hearing of. This player is playing for Haas, he's playing for Kotoko, he's playing in the national team. When you are sending your young kicks to the park, you'll be telling them about this player. When you go watch this player, watch the way he plays. And some of them, they go to the field, they make friendship with some of these players. They became their mentors kind of thing. And they will be communicating with such players, they will be encouraging them and then giving them boosts and Jesus in relation to football. It was very good. But now premiership is not there. It's very difficult for these young kids to have that kind of interaction with top players down south.
So much is going down the drain these days, and the cry for a Ghana Premier League representative is getting louder. Shilia Hassan is a brother of the 2006 World Cup squad member Shilia Ilyasu, and he understands what the northern sector is missing.
Yes, it's worth a lot because we have a talent here. And in the first division, we have 4 first division in Tamale here. At least we were trying to see this year to see whether one can go to Premier League. But it's a worry in Tamale, a big stadium like this, we don't have Premier Club. So we are praying for this year to see whether we can get Premier Club.
Does it look like it will happen this year?
Look at things, I'm sure, because RTU, Steadfast, and Tamale City, if you look at their position, I can see that maybe it will be possible.
And that's the hope, the strong sense of optimism that a wind of change is coming their way this season. If that is to be achieved, it will hugely hinge on the performances of the traditional Real Tamale United, mushrooming Tamale City, and Steadfast FC. 3 teams in the Ghana Division 1 League Zone 1 showing promise. The wilderness best describes Division 1 and the struggle to stay afloat. In the Ghana Division 1 League Zone 1, where 4 Tamale teams are in contention, it appears Yendi Gbewa are very much off the pace, lying second to bottom. But there is renewed energy for Steadfast City, Real Tamale United, and Tamale City, who find themselves in the top 10 at the moment. And my first stop, your guess is as good as mine. I've just come to visit Real Tamale United. In the background, a little meeting with officials. Real Tamale United is certainly the team to come to when you talk about dominance in football up north. These days, though, they are having a bit of a challenge from the likes of Steadfast and Tamale City. We're going to be finding out from the officials and from the players just how they're trying to stop the challenge from the likes of Tamale City and Steadfast.
You know, RTU, is the heart of the North. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry wishes to be part of RTU. Even the opponents, Tamale City, they are all part of RTU in a different form. They wish RTU will qualify, but they wouldn't want to say it. Yes, every Tom, Dick, everybody in the North. You ask any big man in the North, they'll tell you RTU is their team. When RTU wins, families are happy at home. So that is why we are trying to qualify for people to, really enjoy, the beautiful game of football.
Currently handled by former player coach Ibrahim Tanko, who has massive Ghana Premier League experience after stints with clubs like Accra Hearts, Dias Professionals, Midiama SC. Indeed, worked with a number of universities in the country, currently working as a sports director at the University for Development Studies in Tamale. Tanko admits getting back into the Ghana Premier League will be tough.
It has not been an easy task. Playing the Division 1, especially in this zone, it's not an easy task. We are doing our best to, come out tops. before the end of the league.
Yeah. How tough have you found, let me say, your noisy neighbors in Tamale City and Steadfast? They've been making a lot of noise since we came here. How tough have you found that?
Yeah, you know, it's a derby. And for that matter, they know our boys. And that is the more reason why we are finding it difficult, with them. Because they always play with them in town and all that. But should we meet opponents who are not familiar with our boys, it's easier. But these ones, they are. But this time around, we have adopted strategy that we can easily overcome any of them at any point in time.
Shaibu Tanko is not only steering the wheel into the Ghana Premier League lane, but is fusing in brilliant talents as well.
I take, inspiration from the late Professor Mausi Dake. I don't know whether you've heard of him before. It was when I was coaching Voradeb. That was his strategy. When you were in Voradeb, he will find out from you that you can never play football throughout your life. You either choose school or you learn a trade, and he will go and pay. So that is what I'm carrying with me. That is what I've adopted. So if you are coming to RTU, you are a young boy, I ask you, will you like to go to school, or you want to play football alone? So those of them who have agreed to go to school, I take them to UDS, and of course on scholarship.
And his players are leaving no stone unturned in making dozens of followers very happy again.
Looking at our quality this season, we have only one target, and that target is to qualify, bring RTU back to where it belongs, and that is the Premier League football. So we are hoping to qualify RTU back to the Premier League this season. Yeah.
We hope and pray that, looking at our work, this time around, our work rate is very good. It's very high. We have a good coach who motivates and at least trains us very well. So looking at our training and everything, we'll get there. Hopefully we'll get there.
Pride of the North. But that pride has been hurt many times in the last decade. While Real Tamale United putting the effort to make a mark, the two rivals are ready to make the jump if the opportunity arises. Tamale City, one of the clubs here in Tamale, hoping to take the place of Real Tamale United. That is if there's anything like that. They currently sit on the table and are looking forward to qualifying to the Ghana Premier League. As you're aware, the northern sector, all the regions inclusive, have no representative in the Ghana Premier League. But there's a growing sense of optimism that it might happen this year. We're here to find out the inner workings of the club, Tamale City, and why they may just be the most qualified out of the three. I'm talking Real Tamale United and Steadfast. Another true son of the land, Hamza Mohammed, former player of Real Tamale United, one of the few national stars who were featured for every national team, captained the Black Star twice in 1999 and was in the Black Star squad that took part in the 2006 and 2002 Africa Cup of Nations. Hamza says he took on this role to bridge the gap between Tamale and the Ghana Premier League.
We did our best, try all that we can for the past 3 seasons. Tamale City, number 12 came and truncated everything, and then Almighty COVID took him. We were almost there until that unfortunate thing happened. We are still working out, and God being so good this time, I think the 3 teams, we have a good profile to make it this time. So we are just hoping to see what will happen, but the most important thing is just to get the Premier League here in Tamale. We believe Tamale City, if not
number 12, and then number 12.
Yes, we will have it because we were leading like 8 points until that unfortunate thing happened. We'll take it on a good stride, and as you can see on the log, Tamale City up to you, we are at the top, at least the first 5. Not to look down upon Bofo Akwabi and the mighty Royals over there. I mean, they cause a threat to us, but looking at what we are doing, we want to believe it to continue that definitely this season we should get a Premier League in Tamale.
Hamza insists Tamale City are hardly out of gear and should be the chosen one among the 3 to pick the Division 1 slot for Zone 1.
Basically, RTU is a tradition. When you talk of Tamale is about RTU, but they also have their problems. I'm happy they've now reorganized and then trying to challenge and make it to the Premier this time. I hope it will continue that way. Tamale City, we had our plans. Unfortunately, our directors, those who were supporting us, shift come to RTU. I believe that's why they are doing well. But we are also doing our best, and if we also do our best, RTU is doing what they are doing, definitely we should have a Premier League here. And Steadfast too is doing wonderfully. So definitely we should have at least a Premier League this time.
I've seen a lot of talent since I came, and because there's perhaps no Premier League, we say that's why people are not paying attention. But is Ghana justified not to pay attention to the northern sector in terms of, or relative to the kind of talents that you've got here?
It's unfortunate.
I passed by the sports center and I saw a lot of boys, over 200 boys, playing, boys and girls playing.
Yeah, I can tell you, it's natural here. It's natural talent. Talk of the Abedi Peles, the Mohamed Gagos, Mubarak Wakasos. Don't talk of even Hamza Mohamed and the rest. Recently, Abdel Fattah from the north. We have better players than Abdel Fattah in the best. People are not looking at that. But we are happy he's now on the limelight. RTU, Steadfast, Tamale City are also doing well. They're on the first 5 on the Division 1. Attention should be focused on here. They normally come here, get the good ones, go on the final, the warfare, the whatever. But if what we are doing now, we continue the good work that we are doing, attention should be focused on here. And definitely there will be the place and the Mohamed Galbe Stephen Bedi will definitely come back.
Determination and hard work at play is seamless, flowing from the management through to the fans and down to the playing body.
Even though everything is by luck, maybe you might think, oh, this is a season for you to go into the Premier, it will be a very bad season for you. Okay, so I'm assuring Tamale City fans that inshallah we'll try our best to put the team into Premier. Coming next season, they will also be getting the Premier matches to watch in Tamale.
Come to training their numbers, cheer us up, and we also do the work for them. When we see them always, we know that we feel that they are important to us, and we also want to do something in return for them to be happy.
Steadfast FC, founded by Tamale South MP and Minority Leader in Parliament, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, is another possible name in the Ghana Premier League literature next season.
Enormous potential of young people with skills and with brilliance in football. They need exposure, they need an opportunity, and they need a platform to showcase their skills and their talent. One of my daily reports is the fact that there's no premier team in Tamale.
Yes. So
many of the opportunities are lost because we don't have a premier team. That's why I pray that either RTU or Steadfast FC or Tamale City makes it this time around. And we're lucky President Kufuor built this stadium for Tamale, which is serving a very useful purpose. It's underutilized because of the fact that we do not have a premier club in Tamale, even though there are many Division 1 clubs, but we necessarily need to be at the level of premiership. So I'm investing quietly into football. It's quite a very expensive undertaking.
I was going to ask you how draining it is.
And it can be as money gushing just like the politics I do, but that one you can be hopeful if you are able to get lucky to hit a jackpot. As we are close to one, then you can smile at your investment over a long period of time. I've been in this almost a decade, almost 10 years, and you count your opportunities and you count your losses.
Like Royal Tamale United and Tamale City, Steadfast FC have another football legend in charge of the agenda to get Steadfast steadily into the Ghana Premier League.
When you look around, I mean, look at it's because of the Premiership clubs here in the north. The reason why these stadiums were put up, and coming to look at Steadfast, Wild Stars, Real Tamale United, especially that is not in the Premiership again. It's a bit worrying, but I mean, we don't blame anybody. We have to take the blame ourselves because probably we let go certain things and we didn't do our work well. Now we are struggling to come back, and gradually we're hoping that one of these clubs will get back to the Premiership.
Good. Steadfast, you are beginning to You're becoming too steady, and you're worrying the likes of RTU and Tamale City. What kind of work has gone into this to keep the club where it is?
Well, to what I know and what I've been told, that this club is just about 8 to 9 years old, and they've never come this far to even head in the league in these years. And it's nothing. It's just a practical, simple football, or teaching of football that we are putting into these boys. I have my philosophy where I almost teach them the way I used to play. I love handling the ball. I love keeping the ball.
Steadfast FC have their calculators out, more focused than ever to bring Premier League football back to Tamale.
Watching Division 1 matches, sometimes we come fed up with it because we've not seen the likes of Asante Kotoko, House of Hope, Dreams FC. We've not seen them for so many years. This year we are trying our possible best to get a premier club in Tamale. Looking at our position, in the next 2 matches, I think we will be the top of Division 1, and I pray that we will qualify for the Premier League this season.
It's been tough because like all the teams in this zone, like they are good teams, so like we are not getting things easy. But we are hoping to qualify, like at the end of the season, to qualify to the Ghana Premier League.
While the search of a Ghana Premier League slot is ongoing, another area that needs addressing up north is the state of infrastructure. While many in Tamale easily point to the Aliu Muhammad Stadium as the most decorated edifice, there's work to be done elsewhere. The Caledon Park immediately comes to mind. Used to be a wonderful home for Real Tamale United in Tamale. It was very difficult for teams to come over and beat Real Tamale United. The facility, if refurbished, can seat about 5,000 spectators, feed a number of Colts clubs and fast-springing Division 1 clubs too. The park is now at the mercy of adverse weather and nature. There have been promises of help, but all are yet to materialize.
In my manifesto, infrastructure was one of the key things I promised putting up when elected as the chairman of the Northern Regional Football Association. I realized we had talent, but playing facilities, almost all available lands had been used by estate developers. So there was the need to actually look around and then see where to get the needed land to actually provide training or playing facilities. So towards the stadium annex, you realize there was this land lying fallow, and then it was not being used. It was just like a bush there. So I thought there was a need to actually carve out playing fields over there so that the kids could get a number of fields to train. So I went there, had a team to go and then demarcate the place, had graders to go there and then grade the place, did some leveling, and then also had standard pools installed at that place. And I think if you go there today, you realize that it's a place where over 200 to 300 kids converge on daily basis to actually train. Apart from that, even grown-ups go there to use it as their keep fit playgrounds. Apart from that, I think even at the Caledon Park, the old Caledon Park, we have about 4 fields within Caledon Park. Wow. The main Caledon Park, which is not being used currently because of the loamy soil that had been put on it, but unfortunately could not be developed into an AstroTurf or a standard field that was. So for now, you can't use the main old Caledon Park, but we have 3 other fields, one being used by a coast team known as Great Eagles. Then we have another used by Real Republicans, and then we have the other one used by United Babies. when I went there, it was just the Republicans one that was quite good, but the Eagles one, we had a lot of stones, concrete slabs, and a whole lot of things. I had to get an excavator to go there, remove all those rocks, put them aside, got some gravel to level the pitch, change the goalposts, and then also went to United Babies Field, changed the post there to did some leveling, and for now at least we have 3 standard pitches there that can be used for games at the old Caladan Park beside the main Caladan Field itself. So I think by and large now within the Tamale municipality we have a number of fields that the kids are using, and I think that is helping a great deal.
Heartwarming from the NRFA boss, but heart-wrenching to think about the work that needs to be done. However, that's not the immediate concern of the Tamale faithful, and by extension, all 4 northern regions. They remain united in the quest to get a Ghana Premier League club and football back anyway.
Tamale people are angry because it's been a while, or it's been a year since Premier team is in Tamale. So those years, yes, Division 1 club, season in, season out. So we need a strong Premier team here so that we can be enjoying it every day.
Not less than 9 years today since the only club which were representing Northern Region, that was Real Tamale United. Since they were relegated, we've not seen any Premier League team. And then looking at this kind of facility that Tamale is having with that Premier League team, you know, that is so bad. So this year, the 4 teams which are representing the Northern Region, the Division 1 League, we are just praying that they should do all their best, at least for us to get a Premier team here, so that we also be enjoying the Ghana Premier League some.
We need a Premier League club so that at least we can see other clubs from other regions. We can watch Kotoko, we can watch Haas, we can watch Ash Gold, and then other big clubs.
Yes, football up north, when rich, does serve the nation well. And just maybe, this may be the year.